comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So I was down at the swimming pool today, took my kid down to fucking almost drown. He's such a confident swimmer for someone that can't swim. A confident swimmer who can't swim, that's just some cunt that's going to drown. So I have to keep a close fucking eye on him. I have to get into the Aqua Kids play pool. And the fucking kids pool, that is just, I think that is where COVID-19 originated from. Because today I counted in a tiny little cordoned off little aqua play bit, 35 little fucking rats. That's not including the little rats doing swimming lessons. That's just a cordoned off little bit of the pool. It was a little bit bigger than my body length wide and then about 10 meters length. And there was 35 little snot-filled, sniffling, farting, pissing in the pool little rats. Just swimming into each other, clawing at each other, spitting, fucking. It's just a fucking petri dish of fucking virus in there. That was 35 kids, rats. That's not including the fat dads that were in there as well, just sweating. Fuck those dads. What the fuck happened to these dads? They're a fucking mess. Compared to some of these dads down at the pool, I am a fucking Greek Adonis. Just dads there with like the sloppiest rigs you've ever seen. Just walking around with their kids in the open. Not even embarrassed or anything at all. And these cunts have worse rigs than my rig ever was. Not that much worse, but fucking worse. And they're just walking around shirt off, tits out, fucking pasty white bodies. There was a couple of dads trying to hide it with t-shirts, but we all know. I tell you what, if I was a single dad around that fucking pool, I would be carving up. I would be doing a lot of damage. I would be breaking up some fucking marriages down at the pool. I would just start striking up conversations with these mums, just like, oh, which one's your kid? Oh, nice. How old is he? 4? Yeah, mine's 4 too. What childcare do you take him to? So is the dad here? Oh, that's him over there. Really? You mean the guy who looks like he spent years 18 to 28 in an internet cafe playing World of Warcraft? That guy. Listen, do you want to start something behind his back? I can't offer you anything. I've got no money. I've got no way to support you. And I'm definitely not going to be there emotionally for you. But under this fine layer of fat here, see here, feel it? There are some rock fucking hard abs. That's a market for you, any single dads out there. Just fucking trim down a little bit. You don't even have to get fully fit. Just get down to 18% body fat and you're doing better than most dads. If you can get down to like 12% body fat, you'll have the pick of the pool. Just choose your mum. And the mums are doing good as well. It's the guys that are the sloppiest. It's like, which one had a fucking baby? I just feel like going up to some of these mums and going, how long was your husband's labor? Did he have a hard time breastfeeding because his nipples are chewed the fuck up? Come on, guys. It's getting fucking ridiculous out there. You can't have a worse rig than your wife who had a fucking kid. Carried a baby in her fucking stomach for 9 months and then squeezed it out that tiny hole, and you're in worse condition. And they're walking around proudly with their kids as well. Back in my day, if your mum or dad was a fatty, it was over. You might as well have just quit school. That was a big part of why I wanted to get in shape, because who needs a fat fucking dad? Anyway, if you're a dude with a good rig, get down to the local swimming pool, start hitting up some of those mums. If you're going to head down there, you probably want a kid of your own though. You don't want to be a bachelor with no kid just lurking around the pools trying to hit on mums. That could get it could get murky. What are you doing around the pool, lurking around the pool? Single dads, if you're having trouble on Tinder, just fucking hit the pool. Hit the gym and then hit the pools. Anyway, it is time for another installment of Boyle Breaks History. This week, I have decided to cover a topic that's very close to my heart. We are taking a look at the Sicilian Mafia. Now, I don't know about you, but I always wondered how the Italian Mafia managed to take over pretty much the US when the Italian army was known for being fucking useless. Because people would say the Mafia's run like the army. And I'm like, the Italian army are fucking useless. They got their asses kicked all the time. How the fuck did the mafia take over? But the mafia originally is pretty much Sicilian. And I didn't really know if Sicily was its own country or a part of Italy or what the fuck it was. So Sicily was its own country. It's a little island off the fucking toe of Italy, down south there. So Sicily was its own country, and in Sicily it was like a feudal system of big landlords who owned pretty much all the land in Sicily. And to protect their land, they had like fucking armies and shit. And they ran their own fucking show. There wasn't really any police or anything around. The big barons pretty much ran everything in Sicily. So what happened was, Sicily was falling to shit under the feudalistic system. So they were shimmying over to a capitalistic system. And the big landowners in Sicily started selling off their land to the peasants. Then around 1860, Italy came in with their shit fucking army and took over Sicily. So you can imagine how shit Sicily's army was, but Sicily's fucking way smaller. And it was just a few fucking peasants anyway. But when Italy came in, they began redistributing the land that was owned by the big fucking barons and the Catholic Church as well, mind you, and giving it to the peasants. So the peasantry beginning to own land in Sicily had already started. But when Italy came in and started giving land away, it went up tenfold. So when Italy came in and took over Sicily, there was like 2,000 landowners. And after Italy took over, there was 20,000. So now there is a much bigger pool of landowners. The landowners were mainly farmers. They just had small little farms, small plots of land, but there was a lot of them now. And what happened next was there was a bunch of food shortages and all this bullshit after Italy took over. So cunts started stealing and robbing. And because before then, everything in Sicily was owned by a bunch of rich cunts who operated their own armies and had their own protection, there wasn't really any fucking police in Sicily. There was like 350 police in all of Sicily. So now you've got a little bit of fucking poverty happening and crime is increasing. You've got no police and you've now got a whole bunch of people that want their land protected. So a few criminal entrepreneurs got the idea that they would offer protection for these landowners for a fee. So they did. They armed themselves. They protected the people's land for a fee and everything was fine. The crime went down. The people's land was being protected. It was all fine until the landowners were like, hey, we don't need to pay you anymore. Crime's gone down. Thanks for the help. And so then these Sicilian criminals that were offering the protection racket were like, hey, we have all the guns and all the weapons. We are the police. I think you should keep paying us because the word on the street is if you don't pay us, your fucking house is going to burn down, cunt. If you get what I mean, I'm making you a fucking offer you can't refuse. You continue paying for our protection, otherwise you're going to wake up next to a fucking horse head. And that's pretty much the blueprint they used everywhere. That's how La Cosa Nostra was born, the Sicilian Mafia. And from there, you can just extrapolate what the fuck happened. They used the same tactics on politicians. It was the same shit everywhere. And it turns out the Sicilians were like cold-blooded murderers as well. So there was a difference between the Italian army and the cold-blooded criminal murderers of Sicily. And that's it for another installment of Boyle Breaks History. And I will be signing off. Good night. See you the fuck later.